literally, it's that moment that I had when I was in Gary Vee's office in New York, chatting to him, having a wine, looking out the window. Your life can be anything you want it to be. Don't limit it. Whatever the thing that limits us, these limiting beliefs were put into our brains. We're not, from just how we live our lives through societal things, it's not true. You can be whoever you want to be. You can be wherever you want to be. You can make your life whatever you want it to be. You genuinely can. I know I've been saying this a lot, but the biggest learning I've had from life is that, fuck man, just go for it. Believe in yourself, make it happen. Dreams do come true. And not only dreams can come true, your dreams can come true. So getting as many people to understand that's possible, and then finding ways to do that. Like if I look at my life, for example, I didn't dream of having a laser hair removal business, but having that business has allowed me to then meet Gary Vee, to start podcasting, to meet people like you, to, you know, get paid to speak at events, that sort of stuff. Just set a goal and work for it. And I'm telling you, believe in yourself, visualize the process, visualize your goals, anything's possible.
I could literally sit here and talk to you for ages. Like we could talk for hours about this, but I'm mindful we've got 2 pods to shoot.
Yeah.
I want to dive into the consistent theme of the podcast, which is 5 questions and 5 answers, which is usually consistent for everyone, but I think I'll maybe like change today up a little bit and make it very suited to your story. So I know one thing that interests me, especially from a personal development standpoint as to what you're doing, is if you could recommend one book or one podcast to someone listening, what would it be?
There's so many. One book, I'll tell you from the start, and it is a cliche, but I'm not meaning in a cliche way. And it's not necessarily the best, but it's the book that changed my life. And I've been talking about it, I'm sure you can guess it's The Secret. Just watch it with an open mind, whether you think it's true or not. Just understand the power of visualization. And whether you know Dr. Joe Dispenza? Yep. Whether you want to get into it in terms of the metaphysics and the science behind it and all that energetic stuff, there's a scientific explanation behind it. I don't even feel the need to go into that. I already believe it because I've lived it and believed it. But let's look at it this way. They say that everything on Earth is energy. This table's energy, your energy, I'm energy. If you put out a high vibration, you attract that. If you're a negative person, they're always complaining, what are they attracting to their lives?
Negativity.
More negativity. If you're a positive person who believes good things will happen, what comes into your life? Positive things. So if you can pair that with the belief that you can achieve anything and the work behind it, and then you are visualizing how you want your life to be. Regardless of if you don't want to believe that me visualizing being in Gary's office did anything, if me visualizing creating a business, if you don't think that you visualizing your dreams coming true is going to do anything in terms of that energetic level, fine. But tell me this, if you're visualizing whoever's listening, think about if you could have anything in the world, what type of life you would want to live. If you then visualize yourself in that, experiencing that life every single day, living it, experiencing it emotionally, physically. Like when I visualize, I feel like I'm time traveling. If you can put yourself there, if you're experiencing these moments every single day, for one, there's that energetic shit, but if you don't want to believe it, that's fine. But tell me, if you can live in these moments and experience them, see them so clearly every single day, tell me you're not going to be fired up to put the work in to make it happen.
Bloody oath. And here's the thing, at worst, even if all those things that you visualize and want to move towards don't come to fruition, at least you're a better human for the people around you.
Exactly.
That's the worst case scenario. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's not a fucking bad outcome either.
But it's going to take you somewhere. And it's not always where you want to go, but you'll chase one thing and then this other door will open. Then you realize, oh shit, this is actually what I want more than that door. But if I didn't chase that and this moment popped up when it did, I never would have ended up here anyway.
Bro, your conviction sells that book. If people aren't picking that up after today, in fact, I think I'll get it on Audible. I'm not much of a reader, more of a listener.
Dude, it's even on Netflix for people that aren't even an Audible guy.
Oh, that's it.
There's a fucking hour and a half one on Netflix. It's a bit woo-woo. I don't love it, but just if you don't understand the power of law of attraction and visualization, it just unlocks that for you and shows you what's possible. But Conor McGregor, he's become the biggest combat sports athlete of all time. He changed the UFC forever. Love him or hate him, he's gone off the rails, he's doing his thing, but this guy says, and it's in his documentary, the thing that changed his life and trajectory of his entire life, his career, everything, was watching The Secret, reading that book, The Secret, and understanding the power of visualization. He's been speaking, and before he was the champion, when he was a plumber working for $8 an hour on checks from the government, he was saying, I'm champion of the world. I'm going to be a champion of the world. He's held that from the earliest interviews all the way through to now, and he attests that to the law of attraction and coming across the secret and like how much you visualizing the person you want to be and trying to become that person, believing you are that person, it will fucking change your life, man.
Mate, I love that so much. Really beautiful message. My second question for you, is there a skill that you're trying to master or an attribute that you're consistently developing that you think makes you just better suited to like enhancing your life?
Say that again for me?
So is there a skill that you're in the process of trying to master or an attribute that you're trying to develop that just sets you up for success in your life?
For me, yeah, because as you could probably tell, I'm a very energetic person, so that stuff has come naturally to me. But things that I haven't been great at naturally is organization and time management. So really setting up and time blocking my time, because now I have multiple projects I'm working on at once. I can't just like, when I was just working on Happy Skin Co., sit at my desk, if I didn't have really that much of a structure in my day, which developed over the years, I'm going to be fucking working on this one thing for 10, 12, 14 hours. I'm going to fucking make shit happen either way. But when there's a lot of different priorities or you're balancing life, relationships, work and a side hustle, being able to really clearly set goals and time block your time to achieve that, that's the biggest thing. So trying to get really disciplined. Discipline equals freedom. That's the book I'm reading now from Jocko Willink.
Okay.
I've never been naturally that disciplined. Well, I say that. I probably am to a lot of people. There's certain things that are harder for me than others.
Yep.
But really trying to integrate that in my life, because if you can do that, structure your life, set up, always break it down, working backwards from what your goals are, it will allow you to unlock the potential and use this energy and enthusiasm and passion I have for life and maximize that.
I love that, man. My third question for you is, what in life right now is challenging you the most, and what is it requiring of your own personal growth to come out the other side?
Yeah, so right now it's probably linked to that. It's managing so many different things, having so many massive goals and projects I'm responsible for, and managing that with multiple different people that I might be partners with in certain things. The boys in the podcast, another project I'm working on with them, Happy Skin Co., another business I've got, and like being able to put everything I can into that, but still have time for myself and my relationship with my partner Mel, balancing all those things and being able to, because I never switch off, being able to really be in the moment and be present in just what's right in front of me. So I think that, yeah.
Does it make it hard to enjoy everything sometimes when you feel like the stress of managing it all is so high?
Not really.
Okay.
It used to 100%, but I just have so much trust in where I'm going that I know there's going to be highs and lows. Like when you have your first low period in business, like fuck, it's all over. But there's highs and lows all the time, and understanding that I know where I'm going, I know what I'm going to achieve. If there's bumps in the road, there's bumps in the road. And not obsessing about controlling every single moment, making every moment, every single part of the process perfect, because it's just not realistic. Once you can let go of that perfectionism, it'll free you up a lot more to be more creative and be more playful and enjoy your life more. Getting rid of the perfectionism I had in life actually made it a lot more enjoyable. Things will go wrong. We don't do something to the best of our ability, or I don't double check someone's work and it goes live. It's just part of it, man. Take that as a lesson. But it's so much more freeing, and you're so much better to just let that go. And just trust in where you're going and believe that you'll get there regardless. And I think it's the best way to approach it.
Beautifully said. My fourth question is a different one. Pitching this just to you based off the story you've told us before we dived into this Q&A, is what's the most important thing you learn off Gary Vee?
Honestly, and this is a bit more business orientated, and it took me a long time to really understand this lesson or really commit to it. And I'm sure you know it too, but like content, like how powerful content is. It's like media buying is just a skill that works right now, and it's something you need. But like if you can understand how to capture human attention and create content that adds value to people or entertains people, if you can do that effectively, you'll be able to start any business you want anyway. But it took me a long time to I was working with him from when was that? Mid 2019. It took me 2.5 years to start the podcast, and even more recently start putting out content, because I was so focused on, I've got all this work to do, I don't want to do any of that. But the power of putting out content that's authentic to you and sharing your voice and your learnings with people is so powerful. And if you're in business, small business, thinking of getting started, like, as you know, like, or even another one, Ice is a contact that someone that we've both had on our podcast, both think he's a legend. And he'll tell you, like, if he's building a business, he'll build the audience first, then build the business.
Yeah.
Like, he's all in on the content stuff. And that's something that, looking back, really took a lot from. It just took me, like, I'm the type of guy you can't tell him something. He needs to learn it in his own time. So, like, I understood it, but then, like, you're just so busy going through the motions of life. Actually implementing it took a little bit longer than ideally looking back I would have.
I love that, man. My last question for you is my favorite. It's a consistent question on the podcast. It's your opportunity to pitch to the world what you think they should know. And the question for you is, if you could share one message with the audience and encourage them to act on that message, what would it be?
That's so easy, man. And we've been talking about it the whole time. It's that moment that I had when I was in Gary Vee's office in New York, chatting to him, having a wine, looking out the window. Your life can be anything you want it to be. Don't limit it. It whatever the thing that limits us, these limiting beliefs were put into our brains. We're not, from just how we live our lives through societal things, it's not true. You can be whoever you want to be. You can be wherever you want to be. You can make your life whatever you want it to be. You genuinely can. I know I've been saying this a lot, but the biggest learning I've had from life is that, fuck, man, just go for it. Believe in yourself, make it happen. Dreams do come true. And not only dreams can come true, your dreams can come true. So getting as many people to understand that's possible, and then finding ways to do that. Like, if I look at my life, for example, I didn't dream of having a laser hair removal business, but having that business has allowed me to then meet Gary Vee, to start podcasting, to meet people like you, to, you know, get paid to speak at events, that sort of stuff. Just set a goal and work for it. And I'm telling you, believe in yourself, visualize the process, visualize your goals, anything's possible.
Mate, I love your story so much. I love all of your messages here on the podcast today. It is no surprise to me, based off the story you've told me, as to why you're successful and why you'll continue to be. I love that message there, and I couldn't agree with it more. So it's been my absolute privilege to have you on a lot to talk about. I'm going to make sure that everywhere people can connect with you, everywhere people can go ahead and support the business, get amongst it, use your products, will all be within the show description and the show notes. Mate, Dylan Mullan, it's been my absolute pleasure. Thank you for your time.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.